breaking up again. Anyway, oh, we're live. Oh, cool.
Oh.
All right, cool. We're live. Welcome, guys, to episode 2, season 2 of the Superhero Hour. We started late. All my fault, so I apologize. But let's get the show on the road. Let's first talk trailers. Now we have show notes. Thank you very much, Lou. Show notes broken down, so we have a show schedule. And let's start with some trailers. We had 3 trailers this week. 4, actually, if you want to counting Maze Runner. What's it called?
1 minute teaser.
It's a teaser, so I didn't really want to count it. But we had 3 trailers. We had Jumanji, we had Tomb Raider, and we had The Punisher. Now, I listed them in, I'm going to start with the reverse order. So let's start off with Tomb Raider. What did you guys think? Started off with you, Charles, since we haven't seen you in a while.
I'm concerned about Tomb Raider. The trailer looked cheap. There were some things in the trailer that kind of made me tilt my head. Like, and one major issue I have with it is Walton Goggins' character playing Matthias Vogel. I originally I found out that they were taking sort of things from the 2013 video game, and Matthias Vogel, the character anyway, was the villain in the video game. But now they've completely changed who the character is, and the only thing that is the same is the name. That's it. I mean, in the video game, he's a cult leader, while in the movie, he's some representative to some corporation called Trinity. And I'm like, no. Just I really don't like it when they do that kind of stuff. It messes with the continuity.
What continuity? It's a fucking video game. Things can change for big screen adaptation.
I'm sorry. No, I can't accept it. I can't.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Walt, look. Honestly, the guy who's playing him, Walt Goggins, is going to kill the role because anything he's golden. No, even when he dressed up as a woman in Sons of Anarchy, he was golden.
He's a great actor. He's a very great actor, and I'm sure he's going to kill it in the role regardless of how I feel about it. But it still bothers me because it's like, I mean, what the hell is going on? What the hell are they thinking? It's just... I'm thinking, for the longest time, I thought this Tomb Raider movie might actually be the movie that would break the video game movie curse. And watching this trailer...
watch it break the video game curse.
It's not going to break the curse, dude. It's not.
I guarantee you it will.
No. I can say...
People flock to the theaters just for Tomb Raider. Just because you didn't like the trailer...
I can guarantee you...
Millions did.
I can guarantee you at 99.9% that this movie will not break the curse. It will not happen.
Okay. I'm going to chime in here.
Go ahead.
I will say this. Number one, it will break the curse because this is not shot like any of other video game movies. And also Warner Brothers is doing this. Warner Brothers considers this a franchise, not a video game movie. That's how they say it. Number 2, with the character, I hear what you're saying, but we don't know what exactly they're doing. Yes, he part of a corporation. They probably blended 2 characters together, or the fact that in film, I get it. The guy from the cult makes no sense if he has no external connection. So he might still be the cult leader, but he's an external connection.
But the cult.
We'll have to wait and see. The
cult that I'm referring to is tied to the island that Lara Croft is like abandoned on. The whole sole purpose of the cult is to try to escape the island, but they can't because some sort of supernatural force is preventing them from doing it.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to tie the supernatural force that way. I think this movie is going to be like. It's going to be like Raiders of... Charles, your internet is cutting out.
My what?
Lou, say something.
Yeah.
Lou, just keep talking. Just keep talking. I want to hear how your connection is.
Okay. What would you prefer? A person who's the head of a corporation or someone who's the head of a cult? Hollywood's going to take a person ahead of a corporation any day of the week over some cult leader because just being a leader of a cult is not a good idea.
Dude, it's about maintaining the narrative. I mean,
but it's not following the game. It may cherry pick elements.
It's a loose adaptation, and that's number one. But number two, we don't know where the storyline is going. Just because we see scenes from the video game, it doesn't. It's like BVS, right? BVS has scenes from 7 comic books. They look exactly like the same, but it's not the same story, right? So we'll have to wait and see. Again, the movie comes out fall of next year. It's a long time.
Is it?
It's almost a year, but not a year. But it comes out late next year because there's a lot of post-production they have to do with the island stunts because they didn't really shoot in an island. They shot in some locations, but not an island, say. So
okay.
So you got that there.
I said I'm looking forward to it. I thought the trailer was cool for what we got to see. I mean, I thought the one scene where she slid on the ground and that pillar that was rolling with spikes.
Yeah, that was a well shot scene. I really like that scene.
So and then I might give you the boat reference in the game was a lot bigger than what they used in the movie, but hey, they still gave us the boat scene. It'll probably look gorgeous on screen.
It's not the same. It's not the same as the boat scene from the video game because the boat in the video game was much bigger and had a much larger crew. In the movie, it's just 2 people in a small boat that can fit maybe at most 3 people.
But that's all we saw. That's all we saw. We don't know who else was on the boat.
I saw the boat. It was small enough. It was not big enough to carry more than maybe 3 people.
The boat was big enough to it's a 20-man cruise boat, dude. It was like a fishing charter boat. Have you been on a boat, Charles, ever?
I have. It's just been a while.
So let's compare. We got our regular 9-man crew boats. What she was on, I guarantee you could hold anywhere from 20 to 30 people.
Okay.
All right.
Charles, you're being bothered about things that you don't know the full story yet. Remember, it's the first teaser. You got it.
I get it. I'm getting too emotional too quickly.
I didn't say that.
Honestly, what pissed me off about the trailer was the wait time for it. They made us wait forever. I ended up sending E that trailer like at 3 o'clock in the morning because I got up to use the restroom.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw it was available and I sent it to him. And then I have to hear his slack, why isn't it on the site yet? Da-da-da-da-da.
Whatever, man. Whatever. All right, let's move on to Jumanji. Trailer number 2. Lou, kick it off.
I'm sold on the movie. I was sold on the movie from the first one. The only problem is when it's coming out.
When's it coming out again?
Yeah.
I think it's the following weekend from Star Wars. I think it's a Christmas. It's in December.
All right. I mean,
and I know it's after. Actually, no, because Star Wars is the 22nd. It might be Christmas Day that it comes out.
Mm.
And obviously, they already know they're going to lose the box office, so they're still going to put it out.
Comes out December 20th.
Oh, so it got 2 days before Star Wars comes out.
No, Star Wars comes out, I think, the 19th, doesn't it?
Is it the 19th? Why am I thinking the 22nd?
Star Wars, The Last Jedi. Okay.
I think it is the 19th.
No, it's the 15th. December
the 15th?
15th is The Last Jedi. So, oh my God, what the hell are they thinking? I mean, sure, Jumanji is going to be awesome. I think it looks hilarious. But releasing it 5 days after Star Wars, my God, they don't stand a snowball's
But I think they know that, but they're going to just look at it as counter-programming when all the theaters are sold out for Star Wars. And then, I mean, I like the reference of the kid picking up the board game in his room. Who plays board games? There's your tie-in to the Robin Williams game.
And the thing that you may not remember this, but I do, is that at the end of the Robin Williams Jumanji movie, where they like throw the board game out into like the water or something, and it gets like washed away. It ends up showing up at a beach, and off in the distance, you have a couple of adults walking up and looking at the board game, about to pick it up, and then it goes to credits. And then they showed that in the new trailer of the guy walking up to the board game at the beach and then taking it home with him. It's a direct continuation from the original movie.
Yeah, with the video game twist, which, hey, you know what?
Oh, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I mean, it's not the first time board games have been adapted into video games.
No, I remember you saying that on your weekend edition show. Monopoly, like Uno.
I didn't say Uno, but yeah, you're right. Yeah, but
you guys miss the point. It's not that the game is adapted. It's very simple. Jumanji finds a way to exist. It's alive.
Okay.
So Jumanji will just fit with the time. Yeah. Which is because it's not like it's some ordinary board game, right? It's some kind of metaphysical thing. So everybody plays video games now. Sure. Yeah. Granted, it did that maybe in the 80s, and it never updated to an Xbox. It stayed as
they're doing they're using a console that looks remarkably similar to an NES. So,
but see, I like that.
I do like that as well. Putting it on a more modern console just wouldn't feel right.
Yeah, the looking like the NES or whatever you want to, make it look like, I think fits better than going with something more modern.
Yeah, definitely.
But the thing I want to say is that when I watched the first trailer of Jumanji, I was conflicted. The trailer looked great, but at first it felt like that it was so far separated from the original Jumanji movie that I just wasn't sure how to feel about it. But after watching the second trailer, I'm sorry, I'm sold. I mean, I am completely sold. It looks hilarious. It looks like the chemistry between Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart are at an all-time high. And then the part where he ate the pound cake, it's like, "Am I still black? I'm sorry. I thought that line was funny as hell." And then of course he spontaneously combusted. And I'm like, how the hell does cake make you do that? But still,
it's his weakness.
Yeah, I think the movie's going to be great. I don't care what anybody says. They say like, "Oh, it's going to suck." Well, it's like, no, it isn't. It's going to be freaking hilarious.
Honestly, if that movie makes $40 million opening weekend, it's a win for them.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it will. I think it will. But again, remember, that's something remember, Star Wars is going to be darker.
Oh, it's going to be darker.
Movie.
Yeah. So it's going to be like what they did with Empire Strikes Back, with Empire Strikes Back being the darker movie.
It's going to be darker. Just even the director, Rian Johnson, is not someone who does super lighthearted movies.
You know what?
So this movie, it makes sense because you take your kids to go see Jumanji, right? You've got The Rock, you have Kevin Hart, all these funny slapstick moments in there, and it's also video game reference, right? So they understand lives, they understand, power ups and all that kind of stuff. So you've got all that built into it. I think it makes perfect sense. So to me, it was good. All right, let's talk Punisher.
I guess I'll go first. Punisher was great. It was really great. I'm thinking even though I did enjoy a large number of the Marvel Netflix shows that we've had so far, I enjoyed both seasons of Daredevil. I enjoyed Jessica Jones. I somewhat enjoyed Luke Cage. Iron Fist was mediocre, and Defenders was the best one that we've ever had so far. But yeah, make that face all you want, buddy. But no, it's just I think Punisher is going to top Defenders in my opinion. Just because of the type of stuff they're going to be bringing up in that show. I think it's going to be great. My only gripe, and I know Lou tried to correct me on this, is that something about the whole thing, it looks like they're changing why his family was killed.
They didn't change it.
Yeah.
They're just diving deeper into it. Remember, in season 2 of Daredevil, he was under the impression that the mob, the Irish mob, and
I knew that I knew that the mob was involved in their death, but I know that they weren't the ones that planned the whole thing out. I knew that somebody else was involved. I think it was like Frank Castle's CO from the military that was played by Clancy Brown. Yeah, but I thought when he killed Clancy Brown, that ended it. The whole conspiracy was over.
Oh no, it just started it for him.
Yeah.
Remember, he took that disc, and on that disc it said micro. So now, if you think back to his origin, it always dealt with. See, what they changed was the fact that it's military, but in the comics originally, he was a FBI agent or a police officer.
No, in the comic books, he was a cop. He was just a simple cop. They turned him into an FBI agent in the movie with Thomas Jane, and then in the Netflix, Daredevil season 2, that's when they turned him into former military.
See, my first time being introduced to Punisher was the Thomas Jane version.
Yeah. But no, in the original comic, he was just a cop. That's it.
But you see how things change, and they changed it for the better.
Yeah. And I can actually believe somebody who is former military doing what the Punisher does because they have access. They can get access to all those firearms. However, for a cop, sure, they can get access to a large number of those firearms, but some of the things that Frank Castle had in Daredevil season 2, I just don't see a cop getting access to unless they're like really high up on the rank list.
What country do you live in? We live in America, man. You can get access to that without being a cop. Look, this.
You got the black market there.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, no, come on, man. But I mean, I enjoyed it. I think it's going to be dope too. I think it would be the best show out of all of them. Simply just because they're not dealing with superpowers. So you can make a more grounded show. Mm-hmm. You can make it much easier. Remember, the reason why Daredevil to me, has always been the best show. Season 1 and season 2. Season 1 had the best villain to me still in the Marvel Universe, Kingpin. He was grounded. He had reality. Season 2 also had a lot of that too, even though you brought in more of the hand, but it still was grounded. Right? So it should be good for those aspects alone. Minus the fact that you're gonna get gore, blood, and you're gonna see Frank Castle at his finest, right? So I think that plays in pretty well. All right.
But you do realize Defenders was the least watched in a month period out of all the shows. I'm
going according to my own opinion. So yeah.
No, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed Defenders. Mm-hmm. It was definitely better than Iron Fist. Mm-hmm. And it was on par with Luke Cage. See, Luke Cage fell apart after they killed Cottonmouth.
Luke Cage has the best half season of any show. If Luke Cage was 7 episodes only, it would be, but it didn't. So I mean, that's it. Anyway, let's go to some movie news. All right, so
I don't know if you caught it, but we have one buddy saying it's coming out October 13th, and I'm not sold on that date because when I paused the trailer right before you see they blanked out the when it's coming out date. It shows an 11 at the beginning. So I'm thinking it's coming out in November. Now, what we will know for sure, whoever gets to go to New York Comic-Con, they'll see the first episode there.
Mm-hmm.
We shall see.
And when is New York Comic-Con?
I think it's in like the next 2 weeks.
Oh.
Okay. They don't invite me anyway, so.
Oh, they didn't invite you this year?
No, they don't like us.
I never get to go. Never get to go.
I would never be able to go to San Diego Comic-Con, but I would like to go to New York Comic-Con at some point.
We have to make it happen.
Anyway, let's move to movie news. We have a couple of things. We started with Avatar when we were talking before we started. So Avatar is going to start shooting, and the budget is set, or at least estimated at $1 billion for 4 movies. Which makes sense if each one is supposed to be a blockbuster, $250 billion. But I think the budget will come out as being less at some point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. $1 billion $1 billion for 4 movies just seems a bit Much?
Not really when it comes to Avatar. I mean,
Well, yeah, that's true.
he pushes the boundaries when it comes to technology.
Oh, yes, he does. Yes, he does.
I put it this way: it's that it's not going to be. I think what you're going to get is like anything else. Just the reason why you shoot together. If like Lord of the Rings shot all three together, it was cheaper. I don't know what the budget was entirely, but all three movies were shot back to back to back, right?
I think it was close to $1 billion after everything was said and done.
Yeah, in terms of budget, it was close to $1 billion. So this is technically cheaper than that. If you're looking at 250, I think it might be 900 million, but whatever, it is what it is in terms of news. Stephen King's It has set a 2019 release date. Which means he will not be directing Justice League Dark, the director of It. And the date is set for September 6, 2019. I'm surprised he couldn't get an October release date. Because, if you want to double it, you might as well go to October and just go to, skip. But anyway, it's the same time as this year, right? Almost. Yeah.
Holiday Evolution is saying Punisher's coming out the week after Thor. I could see it be shoehorned in between Thor and Justice League.
Nah, that is a wasted time to do that.
Not really. The week after Thor, you got Punisher. Then the following week, you got Justice League.
Nah, it's October.
That's like great viewing pleasure.
No, it's great viewing, but it's not. It's October, trust me. Remember, the reason that's the time, it's November. What do people do in November in America?
What, Thanksgiving? Shopping when? Black Friday?
Yeah, Black Friday, man.
Holiday
it's maybe before
shopping.
Black Friday.
No, dude.
Screw that shit. I'm staying home. Dude,
nobody
we're
asked
in a day and age.
Nobody asked you what you were doing.
You proved this to us last year. Holiday shopping is done from our computers, and you just have Amazon deliver it to you.
Yeah, pretty much.
But people still shop. The thing is that people still do, especially when you're buying clothes. Remember, they're shopping for tech, shopping for items. When it comes to clothes, you still got to go to the store.
No, I don't.
I trust me. You order stuff. But anyway, it's coming then. We don't have to stay on that topic too much. Solo Joker movie could begin filming in 2018. The script will be supposedly going to be submitted this week. I don't know why they're going with that whole route of doing Elseworld movies. I understand it, and to me, if they wanted to do that, they should have done that 4 years from now. Your DCEU is established. Now you want to tell very individual stories that could be taken as, oh, this is the Joker origin, right? Or this is this origin. That's fine, but not at the beginning. Remember, you're still trying to build the DCEU, right? Mm-hmm. You want to wait 4 or 5 years in, and then you do a Joker origin. You're going, oh, okay.
No, I don't care for it. I really didn't. When it was announced, the great Martin Scorsese, I thought of it like, who gives a rat's you know what? The man's going to be too busy dealing with the Irishman that's getting ready to film. So what? He's putting his name on a Joker. I don't want a Joker movie. Well, I honestly feel they do that, they're going to confuse the hell out of people.
Oh, no, I know. They will confuse. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm saying that if you're going to do it, you're going to do it at a separate time, not now.
Well, no, they shouldn't even do a Joker origin, because in the comics, Joker has had so many different origins, some good, some bad, some great, some horrible, but there are so many of them that it's better to just leave his origin to mystery. Let people just assume what it is and accept it and just never put it on film.
No, they should do an origin.
Keep it a mystery.
No, they should do an origin. To me, I'll say this, right? If you had to do a Joker movie origin, that would work. That would be great. The Joker movie origin should have 3 origins, just like how he did in Batman, The Dark Knight. Mm-hmm. And those 3 origin stories go throughout the whole movie. So when you finish the movie, right, you still have no idea who the Joker is. It could be one of those 3. It would be so great if you could do that as a movie.
Yeah,
that seems more confusing than anything else.
And that's the point.
That's the point, right? That tells you that who the Joker is. And at the end of the movie, right? Say maybe Joker was in prison, and maybe and Batman shows up and is like, there's no need to find an origin for Joker. This is who he is. This is what the individual is. To me, that would be a very good movie, because as a movie, it's a cool movie because you have 3 storylines that you're telling that have the same characters, and some characters are different, right? And then everybody just goes, okay, Joker is just messed up at the end of the day. Like, there's no second guessing who he is. So I think that is it, but we'll see. Star Wars, The Last Jedi is wrapped his post-production. So right now the movie is ready to go. Linda Hamilton is coming. She's going to be in Terminator 6. So we'll see. I said, we'll see how that goes.
I really don't care.
We'll see how that goes. Taika Waititi, aka the director of Thor, is in talks to direct Akira, which I think actually it's not a bad choice for it in terms of a director. If they can finally get Akira for it.
That seems to be the movie that can't find a director.
Akira is remember, the thing about Akira is also, it's Neo Tokyo that is basically in the US location wise, because it's basically New York, but it's Tokyo. So, and then all your characters are mostly Japanese in Akira. And also the storyline is not as clear cut. I watched Akira again recently and I was like, this shit makes half sense. It's still very good, but the all of anime have this vagueness to it, right? It's built in. You just get it. If you gotta tell as a movie, you can't tell a movie as being vague. No one's gonna watch it. So you gotta change things, which is where it finds a hard part. Also, Justice League was screened last week. Test screening for Justice League. Couple of things came out. One is Jesse Eisenberg was cut out in one of the cuts that some people saw. Also looks like Iris West was also cut out, one of the cuts. They had 2 different cuts they showed. One was an hour 50 minutes. One was 2 hours and 30 minutes of the movie. There's also word that what's his name? Deathstroke isn't in it anymore as well.
Oh, your stuff is in the room.
Lou, we can hear you, man. We can hear you, Lou. I'm just gonna mute Lou here so we don't hear him. Yeah, but So Justice League has done a screen test. All the screen tests sounded positive from people who broke the embargo. So we don't know how it is in terms of.
So you're saying Iris West got cut from the movie?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think she's probably needed in that movie.
No, she's not. But I remember watching one of the more recent trailers where Flash is like touching a glass and it like starts to break slowly.
I think she was behind. Yeah,
she was behind him, and it's just okay. Yeah. So I guess that scene's not going to be in the movie.
But we don't know because it's screen test. So the first test was an hour 50, which was confirmed, and another test was 2 hours 30. Then that means, and the one of Iris West getting cut, I think, was also from the first test. Mm-hmm. So which means, and that movie is not going to be an hour 50 minutes. We all know that. Like, definitely it's not going to be that. The thing I'm bummed out is Lex Luthor cut out. Because from the stuff I had heard, and even from the way they described, Lex hired Deathstroke to break him out of prison. Mm-hmm. And it looks like Batman still couldn't stop him. So which was going to lead into, the Ben Affleck Batman. But because, of course, Ben Affleck isn't making that movie anymore, I'm like, I was like, okay, it would just be nice to see that in there.
What it isn't.
But it looks like that one is definitely gone out. So, but at least it looks like Justice League is in its final stages where but the thing is, what's interesting to me is not the fact that people are seeing it, is the fact that WB is doing test screening. This is the first time we ever heard of a test screening for a WB movie. They never really, Wonder Woman didn't have a test screening. It had reviews just early.
Well,
And-
you
but
got to
no-
understand the controversy behind this movie was Zack Snyder leaving, and then Josh Whedon coming in, so they're probably doing
Oh yeah, just
that
to make
kind of
sure,
screening. Yeah,
to make sure everything
and then
matches.
secondly, it's looking at opening weekend of 150 plus million.
Yeah, but that's early estimates too. Though. It's way early. Remember, we haven't got a.
I can see that.
Yeah, it's a way early. I'm looking at higher than that. I think what it is that the just like remember Wonder Woman 2 had much lower, and let's say the test screening is as good as people are saying is good, right? So let's say you build from that, you now have good reviews, and then you now have a bum ass third trailer. That's the same that happened with Wonder Woman, right? We got solid. The third trailer was solid, and then everybody was like, "Oh, it's the greatest movie ever," and that was it, done.
Holiday goes, Wonder Woman can't carry DC forever. Justice League better be great, not good.
I mean, it will. I think it will hit the milestones of what it needs to hit. So we'll just have to wait and see on that point.
And then he also posted Spider-Man is about to cross the 900 million mark, surpassing both Guardians and BVS.
And Wonder Woman.
Who would have thought? Granted, it had a late push in China.
Yeah, it's because Spider-Man. So Wonder Woman didn't do well internationally, right? As opposed to the US. Its US numbers are much higher.
Which is a shame. It was still a good movie.
And Spider-Man didn't do as well in the US, but Spider-Man is huge internationally. That movie could still make $1 billion. No, it won't. Sorry, if it's going close to 900, but that's how big Spider-Man is internationally.
I think we're getting the home release tomorrow. Well, digital release.
And then 2 weeks from that is the Blu-ray release. Moving on to TV news. Watchmen TV series has been officially picked up as for a pilot. Not a pilot episode series. So what do you guys think? You be interested, Charles?
I won't be interested in the Watchmen TV show until I see a trailer. I was a fan of the movie. I've never read the comics, so by saying that, I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of hate for that, but whatever. No, I watched the movie. I enjoyed it for what it was. But as for a TV show, I mean, I guess I can see a TV show being better suited to tell all the stories from the books. But I'm not going to get excited until I actually see something. Whether it be Dr. Manhattan, Silk's, is it like Silk Spectre or?
Yeah, Silk Spectre.
Silk Spectre, and then Night Owl 2. And the Comedian. If I see any of them, then I'll be interested, is what I would say.
Okay, Luke?
I'm interested because you know what? HBO needs something. They can't live off of Game of Thrones forever.
But they have Westworld.
Yeah, but I don't think Westworld is going to be as big as Game of Thrones.
No. Nothing will be as big as Game of Thrones, but they also know that they need to diversify too, right? Mm-hmm. So if you think about it, if you get Watchmen, you have Westworld, you have 1 or 2 Game of Thrones spin-offs, plus all the other stuff they have, you're good. So that's what you need to do. I'm excited too. I mean, it's HBO, so I think it would be well done. That's just the very bare minimum. That's what HBO does very well. They produce really good shows. It's going to be hard for me to see anybody else as a comedian other than Jeffrey Dean Morgan, because his comedian in the movie was spot on from what I like. When I read the comic book, that was exactly what I saw in the comedian. So, and even Dr. Manhattan too. The guy who plays Dr. Manhattan is Barry Allen's father in the movie in Justice League. He's also in it, but we'll see. Okay. I think we'll do. Game of Thrones. George R.R. Martin revealed that there is going to be another spin-off. Some details on that, on the Bryan Cogman spin-off. Hold on a second, let me just open that up.
That's the one that's going to be greenlit because he's endorsing that one heavy.
Yeah, I can see that like all the pilots, it will be a prequel rather than a sequel, a successor rather than a spin-off. Bryan's series will be an adaptation and one that will thrill most fans of the book. I think it's set during an exciting period of the Westeros history, and we'll be working with him every step of the way. We're going to be co-creating the show. That's the one. If he's co-creating, that's what they're doing. He didn't say anything. This is the most useless statement ever. He said he's going to be great. He told me.
But you know what it is? When that news broke, Emergency Awesome dropped, because it's also coming with the DVD, a video that's on the DVD of the Tales of Valyria, which is set years before everything in Westeros. And he's basing those comments to that's probably the series we're going to get. Old Valyria and dragons and how they created Valyrian steel and all that other good stuff mixed with all the political turmoil that went on their island before it got hit with the big doom.
Okay. Cool. All right. And finally, CW crossover event is what's the title again? Crisis on Earth X.
Yeah.
X.
Is that Earth 10?
Not 10.
Oh,
no.
It's not the iPhone?
Nah, X. There's Earth 10. There's Earth 10 and there's Earth X also. So that's what they do in DC. They do 52 Earths as in proper numbers. And then once in a while, they'll throw in like Earth, some like a weird one like that, like in there. The crossover shows are fun, so it should be good. I mean, we'll just have to see how it turns out.
Well, it's supposed to take place during Barry's wedding.
Yeah, from the poster, so we'll have to wait and see. All right, let's get to the meat of today's discussion. Let's talk some Star Trek Discovery. Episode 1 was aired on CBS. Episode 2 was on CBS All Access, which you can sign up for, $7 with ads, $10 without ads, which is very annoying. But
I thought it was minor ads for the $6 one or $7, whatever one it is.
Yeah, there's minor ads, but still all right, let's kick it off. What did you guys think of Star Trek Discovery? Now, before anyone jumps in, I can see Charles is all eager as he's just looking plainly down at the keyboard. I heard some people say that it's not as Star Trek-y as they would like. So just putting that into consideration, Charles, go ahead. What did you think of Discovery?
Well, I only saw the first episode because I still don't have a subscription to All Access, so I didn't see episode 2. But I would have to say I like it. I like it so far. I do agree that from what I saw in episode 1 that it doesn't feel as Star Trek-y as other shows. But I would have to say my main problem with the show so far is the updated look of the Klingons. I don't like the way I don't like the way they look. I don't. It's just it looks absolutely nothing like the Klingons that were created by Gene Roddenberry. With the hair and the armor, everything looks freaking different, and it messes with the continuity. And when it comes to Star Trek, you cannot mess with the continuity.
True.
Well, J.J. Abrams showed that you can mess with the continuity.
This is not the Kelvin timeline. This is the Prime timeline.
Well, things change.
No, wait. Okay, talk to me. I will explain it for you. If
it was the Kelvin timeline, I might be willing to forgive it. But since it's the Prime timeline, I'm sorry, and forgive my French. Don't fuck with the continuity.
Continuities are meant to be changed. I liked episodes 1 and 2, but I did have a problem with the Klingons. Oh my god, they were awful. Walking around with all this jewelry on and all this, like, what the all these powerful houses and all this shit.
But the jury, it's Star Trek. The jury was also to imply what he was saying. He said they become lazy, right?
They re-embraced Kahless, the teachings of Kahless.
Yeah.
And they became a warrior race.
Yeah, so they were lazy, they weren't really warring out, and that's why even the female Klingon who supported him in the hologram that had like jewelry on her forehead and all that kind of stuff. I will say, okay, since you haven't watched, it doesn't matter, it won't spoil it for you. But this is my
no,
deduction.
no. You're not.
No. It's preview for the rest of the season. So after this episode 2, they show a preview for the rest of the season. And
They
here's
did?
they did.
You must have CBS All Access.
Yeah.
You signed up.
And here's my thing. I think this series is going to do a time travel at some point.
Well, it's Star Trek, I would say, yeah.
And that will still reset back to the Klingons we know. Because
the thing
I've had enough time travel.
It's just the thing that would be a problem with that is that the Klingons Discovery is supposed to take place 10 years before original series. Yeah. And the thing is, the Klingons in the original series look nothing like the Klingons from Next Generation, from Deep Space Nine, from even Voyager, and they explained why that is. It was like something to do with like trying to create their own augments, and it created it kind of like changed their appearance, got rid of the bone ridges. They had like shorter hairstyle and everything. But what they're doing, I'm sorry, it's going to mess with that continuity because at this point, they should already be making the augments.
No, I'm telling you what's going to happen is this. Remember, it's time travel. It doesn't matter once you time travel once, you can change a lot of things, right? It doesn't matter how it changes. I'm just saying that because one of the things we saw, the Discovery as a ship is a very interesting ship from the previews. They were doing a lot of experiments in there because now they're basically fighting the Klingon Empire. And I see levitating water, and I see spatial disbursements, and I see his little time slowing down. I'm going on, there's only one thing that means: time travel at some point, which means timeline gets just re-busted back. So they could actually bust themselves back into proper Klingon-looking timeline.
Yeah.
Fuck, I can't talk about episode 2.
That's just me saying. Now, episode 1, I do agree it was solid. I liked it. I thought it was spot on. We're gonna talk about episode 1 for a second so that then Charles can take the headset off and not get spoiled with it. But I thought it was spot on. There were some things that I didn't like until episode 2 confirmed it to me because I didn't know the backstory of the main character, right? I thought she was number 2. I thought she was Vulcan. I was looking at her ears. I was like, I see no Vulcan ears. And then, you realize she was just raised in Vulcan by Spock's dad.
Is that who that was?
Yeah, that was Sarek.
Yeah,
that was Sarek.
I forgot his name. So that was the thing.
Sarek.
Yeah, so that was the thing that happened. And that's the thing I didn't like either. There was no name drop of Spock because Spock is already a grown man at this point, even though he's 10 years behind. So I think what should have happened is either episode 1 or 2, and we'll talk about that in 2, they should have mentioned his own son, right? So that it's just something to get fans and even anyone who just casually watches Star Trek going, oh, okay, all right, I see the connection. But they didn't do that, so I was kind of bummed out about that because I was like, at first I was like, who is this guy? And then I heard I was listening to the name again. I was like, oh, Spock's dad. Yeah, that's right, makes sense. So that part I didn't like so much, but I mean it was still fine. But yeah, I got to talk about episode 2 at this point now because that's a lot more of the meat there in it. Anything you want to add to first episode, Luke?
I can't add nothing because Charles hasn't seen the second one.
Okay. All right, Charles, we're going to switch to episode 2 now. All right. Episode 2, starting, go.
It threw me for a loop that they already killed Michelle.
Yeah, no, but everybody was going to die in that. Remember, if you look at the credits, right, you can see how they were naming people, and they said also starring Michelle Yeoh, and you're like, she's not going to last in that one. Like, that's just what was going to happen. Also, when speaking of Spock, right, remember when she remembered how she came to the spaceship the first time when she teleported in? Lou?
From into what, the Klingon ship?
No. The first time she and Sarek teleported and met Michelle Yeoh, the first time she met Michelle Yeoh's character, where she was wearing the red dress at the beginning of episode 2.
Yeah.
At that point is where they should have mentioned Spock and goes, he's like, I thought you would be coming with your son as well. Spock
That could have worked. Here. Just a name drop, and that's it.
It's like Spock is still at the academy or whatever, that kind of thing. Like just Spock.
Yeah, because she bypassed the academy.
Yeah.
She bypassed all the academy and all that. I mean, I was a little upset that it was a shorter episode it was shorter by like 5 minutes.
I mean, yeah, it's fine. But so the thing where a lot of people talk about, like, it went straight into war and not fighting. Instead of, Star Trek where it's a lot of more dialogue first instead of fighting. I was like, I get that because this is a period in Star Trek where they had the war with Klingon Empire. And a lot of things didn't go well. Remember, there was a fan movie they were trying to make about that whole thing, where it was a really cool movie idea where they had all these Star Trek captains who were talking about how they defeated the Klingons and how it was just a bloody battle, and like they had to do things that, as Federation, we don't fight like that. We don't, just like how they took the bomb and they put it into a dead Klingon and use that to explode the ship. Federation doesn't do shit like that. They just fire straight ahead and they wait for you to fire first.
No. Let's be straight here. That's a Captain Kirk move. That's something Kirk would do.
What? Do what?
Use the bomb technique on a dead body.
Yeah, sure.
Then while everything else is Kirk would, maybe not the other captains and admirals. Kirk always did shit out of the rules. Picard wouldn't.
No, Picard wouldn't do that.
And I don't think Janeway would it either.
No, but Picard had a goddamn powerful ship, so half the time it didn't matter in his case. But I really liked it. I enjoyed it. I liked the production value. I think it was good. But I think
the production value was good. You know what? At first we kind of complained that they pushed it back, but pushing it back served them well.
Now, before we go back and bring Charles in, anything else you want to add to episode 2?
No, I'm looking. Only thing I don't like is that we have to wait week to week. I want them all now.
It is what it is. Charles. If you can't hear us. Oh. I said Charles is like he responded. Unmute.
Yes.
All right. So we're talking about just like what you'd like to see in the upcoming episodes. And do you think it's less Star Trekky because it looks like there's more action involved? I know you didn't see the second episode, but even the first episode was ramping up pretty quick.
Well, the thing is, the action doesn't really bug me that much. I mean, even involving Klingons, the action would not bother me. But because, Klingons are a warlike race. But the action's not really what bothers me. It has to do with the advancement of the technology. The technology looks very advanced compared to what the original series had. And yes, I know the original series came out in the 60s, so they had like production limits and everything. I understand that. But it kind of feels a little out of place. But beyond that, it's just, then the outfits bug me as well, because the outfits are, like I said before, this takes place 10 years before the original series, and they're not wearing the same outfits that Kirk wore. So, yeah.
It kind of ties into that one series, Enterprise's outfit a little bit.
It is
like the blue, at least. That's all because I never watched Enterprise.
Yeah. It is closer to Enterprise's look than to theirs, and I think the outfit will change because they go to war with the Klingons. It's just I don't know. I'm just thinking that it will change because of that. Because then you can see with the different colors, right? You almost have different hierarchies, right? Red shirts, yellows, blues, and things like that. So instead of everyone just being one color itself.
Oh man, I love that comment. The show was amazing. The Klingon looked like an initials. STD are a bit unfortunate.
That is so wrong.
Okay.
That is so wrong.
Well, we all know
But
who
yeah.
that was, Charles.
Anyway, that's enough. No more comments on that. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it, guys. In terms of what we have this week. Next week we'll be back to our regular time, 9 o'clock. Sorry, I'm in a hotel room in Orlando, so thus
we get back Designated Survivor this week.
Yeah, but we don't talk about Designated Survivor.
We should, because it's good. But we also, well, you're not going to watch it. What? But next week is the premiere of the X-Men show.
Oh, you guys can talk about it. That's fine. I'm just not.
You should give it at least 3 episodes.
I can't do X-Men. You know how it is. I can watch the movie because I watch it once and that's it. I just can't. I can't do the shows. I mean,
deal with Bryan Singer.
Didn't you watch Legion?
Oh, I did watch Legion, but it was not done by Bryan Singer. That's why.
Oh, so The Gifted is being done by Bryan Singer.
Only the first episode, but you realize when a director does the pilot episode, he gets a check for life. That's why he did it.
Yeah, but it's also his premise for this show, which is why it's all janky and all over the place. Legion was centered around one person, and they kept the story around him because his power sets allow you to keep the story. So even if you never watched or knew who Legion was, right, you knew this guy was crazy and he had superpowers, and he's stronger than everybody you can actually think he is stronger than, right? That was it. Done. With Gifted, you're making a story that's from the X-Men comic books, readapted in a way that doesn't fit, and then the same thing again. It's in the timeline. It's not in the timeline. We don't know it's a time. I'm like, with Legion, you didn't even have to put it in any timeline. Legion, when you looked at it, you go, you're wearing somebody's outfit and you're using a tablet. Okay, this is not in any timeline at all. Something's messed up in this world. At least that makes sense. You go, okay, this is just messed up. That's cool. I get it. So, which is why I skipped. Just like I skipped Gotham, and now Batman has.
Don't even say it, because it's a fucking kid, and he's not a goddamn Batman.
You know what? I got something to say about that. All right, see, I may be a fan of Gotham, but I am inclined to side with you guys with the whole idea that Bruce Wayne is still too freaking young to put on a freaking cowl. He is too young.
It's not a cow. It's just a not even a body armor. He looks like he's a cat burglar.
Yeah, he's taking Selena's job now, but no, look, I'm still gonna watch Gotham, even though I haven't seen the premiere yet, and it's been a few days. But I mean, come on, man, Bruce doesn't even become Batman until his early 20s. And he's like, what now? 16? Yeah, he's too young.
If that's the age of him on the show, I refuse to watch that garbage.
I'm only going according to how old the actor is. The actor is like 15, 16 years old. Yeah,
But in exciting news for Walking Dead fans, they've been approved to use the F-bomb. I don't know how many F-bombs they'll drop in how many different episodes, but we're going to get an F-bomb at some point this year. And the first one premiered last night in Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah, but the thing, no. The first F-bomb that was dropped on AMC was actually on Preacher. It was on Preacher because
we're not talking about Preacher. We're talking about Walking Dead.
I'm talking about AMC shows in general. Yeah, it's just
they dropped an F-bomb this year?
Yeah, on Preacher. Yeah, it took place in hell, and Hitler was trying to Hitler was trying to get everybody's attention, and one guy said, like, why would we do anything you would say, plum cake? And Adolf said, because I am Adolf effing Hitler. Yeah,
I remember that episode.
My jaw dropped when he said that. I was like, really?
Yeah, but saying Adolf effing Hitler don't count.
It counts because they said the F-bomb just Just saying.
No, it don't count. If you don't say fucking or fuck,
Hey,
it don't
you
count.
cannot. Lou.
What? It's 12:01. It's way past bedtime.
It's
It'll be
YouTube.
fine.
It's YouTube. It's not.
They can always go back and watch the uploaded video after the stream is over.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the time.
Yeah.
Oh, we're having a dialogue. I mean, seriously.
That's why you say use the word frack.
Well, I said
I'm not in my Starbucks days, bro.
I use frack all the time.
I would have to be watching Battlestar Galactica again, and then
I
would be like in my vocabulary.
I would say Frau because of the whole Farscape thing. I would say Frau.
I haven't watched Farscape in so many years, man.
Oh my god!
Oh, I tried.
I need to watch that show again. That show is so freaking cool.
I tried to watch it, and I could not get past the first season because the CGI was horrible.
Well, yeah, because it came out in the early 2000s. What do you expect?
I try to watch. So I never watched Babylon 5, and I have Babylon 5 and try to watch it. I was just like, oh Jesus, save me!
Come on, I mean, dude. I mean, I guess I'm the only one in our group here that actually isn't bothered by bad CGI.
No. It's not that. I'm saying that what it is that because I never watched the show. It's one thing when you watch it right before and you go back, you laugh at the CGI, but you still watch the episode. It's another thing when you've never watched it before, and my friends are like, "You still got to watch Babylon 5." Now I'm watching it, I'm like, and you're trying to get into the show at the same time. That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Makes it hard. And I wanted to give Farscape a chance, and I just couldn't, dude. Oh my god, it was bad.
My younger cousins, right? I was trying to. They saw Smallville on my Hulu, and they're like, "Oh, what is this?" I was like, "Oh, let me show you." And they're like, "Oh my god, what is this special effect?" I was like, "Shh." Even when they watched the original Superman movie, they went like, "I'm like, how did you like it?" They're like, "Special effects were bad." That's the first thing they mentioned. They're like, "No, but Christopher Reeves was Superman. I liked him." But yeah, the special effects. I was like, it was 1979. So, yeah, it's kind of hard for anyone to do that in general.
Yeah,
but
anyway,
for you, E, are you picking up the 3-hour version of the original Superman movie that's being released on Blu-ray?
Oh yeah, I will. I mean, come on, you know that.
I don't know the exact date, but you got to have your Christopher Reeve Superman.
No. I mean, see, I like it for what it is, and him. I actually like him per se in that. So, like, I watch it for that, not necessarily. But look, for me, my Superman is Man of Steel now. That is because that's all I've read my whole life, and that's what I got. So, Christopher Reeves is always like, special place right here. That's cool. But when I want to watch constantly, if I want to just have it on my background, like I can't even put Superman the movie in my background constantly. Like I can do that with Man of Steel because anytime I turn, it's either he's fighting someone or something like that. Batman is better. You know what? I'm gonna block you, man. I'm gonna block you right now. This end, Cora. Tell me Batman is better. I'm just joking, man. But we'll see. We'll see. As in Henry Cavill, yes, Henry Cavill is on point as Superman. Because if you read a Superman comic, you understand Superman is very layered character. Very layered. And what he does in Man of Steel is show you that Superman has conflicts. That's a side of Superman we don't see. Everybody sees the Boy Scout Superman, right? You're supposed to do the right thing. But even the scene. So the scene when he goes to the church and he talks to the priest, that comes from his Superman comic, action comic. I can't remember the number, but he has almost the same discussion about doing something because he was talking then in the comic book how he had the power to heal people, and the guy was like, "I don't think you have this power. It's like I can cure cancer," and he was like, "With Plutonian science, it's like, no, I can do it myself." But should I do it? And he was like, but if you can. And it was that kind of thing where I'm like, I love the fact that he's going through conflict because he's like, if I do it, people will think I am a god. Not because he didn't want to do it, but because is he going to start doing it and people see? Because just like in Man of Steel, right? I mean, BVS, Some people consider him a god. Some people would think he's the devil. Some people were trying to control. So he was like, I don't want to deal with all that kind of rubbish in there. Which I think, yeah, it's great. But he's a chump. Well, his character is. Oh, because you think Batman is a badass, don't you, Damage? The best character to me is Wonder Woman. Take it or leave it. Just saying. And on that note, we have come to the end.
Next week, guys.
Yes,
same
next
bat
week.
channel.
Yeah,
same bat
channel.
place.
Same but different time at 9 p.m. Eastern. Thank you very much, guys. Yes, it'll be 9 p.m. Eastern.
You've been drinking tonight?
Nah. I'll get a little bit more animated than that. I'm just tired. It's been a long day traveling to it. Spider-Man's the best. Spider-Man is useless. Spider-Man is smarter than 90% of the characters in the Marvel Universe, stronger than most of them, and yet he's broke. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I can't take it. But anyway, guys, thank you very much.
He's a teenager.
I mean, I'm talking about older Spider-Man. When he became an adult, he still was broke.
Oh, then he's a fool.
Yeah, just say. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. Subscribe and always enjoy entertainment.
Bye-bye.
Dr. Manhattan is a god. Come on, that is like overkill.